In this lecture, we are going to learn how to implement methods from an interface or how to override methods from a superclass. We have here an interface with three methods. The interface allows us to have the methods without the definition. And here we have an implementer that implements the interface. As you can see, it throws an error. And it says that the implementer must implement all methods in the interface or be abstract. In order to fix it, click over it and a red bulb is going to show up. And you can select the option you like the most, making it abstract or implementing the methods. In order to show that dialog, we can also hit Alt-Enter. So just hit Implement Methods, and here are the methods you can implement. In addition to that, we can search for things in here just by typing. I can also sort them alphabetically. In order to make that pop-up disappear, you have to hit Escape. There are also two buttons to expand and collapse all the nodes. And in addition to that, you have this checkbox in here that inserts the override annotation. This annotation makes the compiler check if the method you have overridden is correct. If it's not correct, it raises an error, so I would recommend to you that you keep it enabled. So we are going to select the three of them, and that's all. They are automatically generated by IntelliJ. We are going to close this because we are not going to use them anymore. Right now, we are going to expand the WithClass package and concretely open the superclass class. As you can see, this is very similar to the previous one. The difference is that because it is a class, it allows you to have some methods undefined and others defined. And here we have a class that extends the superclass. And we just have to do the same, just hit Alt-Enter. But in addition to this way, there is another way to do the same thing. Above all, because if we do that in that way, we see here that method 3 is not shown. We are going to go back to superclass and we can see here that this method hasn't been shown. The other option is to hit the entry override in the menu Generate. We open the Generate menu by hitting Alt-Insert. And here we have the entry that you can also open by hitting Ctrl-O. And in this window we see all the methods we can override. Not only the ones that are undefined, but also those that are defined but empty. We can also search in here. And in addition to that, you can filter by that option, and only keeping those things that have a definition. You can also sort alphabetically. And there is another option here that is quite interesting, that sorts all the methods by the percentage of classes that have implemented it. So why is that useful? Maybe you don't know exactly which methods you have to implement or override, and in that case it's very useful to see what others have done. And then you can pick all those methods that have been implemented by the majority of classes. If we hit it, we see that 50% of the classes that are children of superclass have implemented method 3. You can check that yourself. We can see that subclass 2 extends superclass and doesn't override method 3. And subclass 3 extends superclass and it does override the method. And that's why it shows 50%. So if we hit Ctrl-O, we can select the three of them. We have this selected. And that's all. And as you can see in here, when you override a method that already has a definition, by default it calls the super method.